Hola compañero, welcome, pleasure. Today we have some PS Vita, PSP, 3DS and Switch homebrew news. Let's get cracking, and let's start with the Vita updates. Animal Crossing now performs better near waterfalls during summer rainbows. Free camera fixes on the island. Cup and trophy unlocks when you step off the boat. Plus there is now background autosave and some memory savings. MU for Vita Plus has received update. 2 new cores have been added, Virtual Boy and PC8801. And the app now also supports themes. You can select the theme in the options tab, plus some bugs have been fixed and some other smaller changes. This Vita front end keeps getting better. I haven't tested the latest core with the Virtual Boy. If you have, what are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? VitaDB website has received a nice update and now it features animated 3D icons. They look just like bubbles on the Vita itself. If you don't like it, you can of course disable it. I like it, therefore I'm keeping it. This is a website, so it only works in your PC web browser. And on top of that, Rin has also implemented scores for each game. The scores are calculated from the major scoring websites like Metacritic. These additions certainly make the website better. Port of Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies received another update, and all of the previous minor audio issues have been now fixed, as well as the pause button, which is now working. That's what you were all asking for, now it's here, enjoy the killing of the zombies, with some pause here and there. Now we are taking a look at this application, it's called Polybus, and you can chat with AI friends in here. You can choose from a bunch of pre-made characters from anime, movies, TV, celebrities, from games, or you can even create your own character. Chatbots are using cutting-edge technology to generate responses that feel natural and engaging. So let's quickly test the cutting-edge technology. I asked Eminem what's his favorite rap song. He answered Without Me by Eminem. I asked from other artists and he said probably I got 5 on it by Nas. Oh No Sleep by Nas. Favorite song from year 2000, The Way I Am, or another censored one. And his favorite song of 1992 is In My Feelings by Big Daddy Kane. If you are into this application, you can download it on your Play Store or App Store. And if you use my code, you can unlock premium features. And now let's get back to the video. Next, we have a brand new original Vita game released called Wrecking Wave by Bruno. He developed this game for a PC, so you can play it even in there, or he also made this Vita port, that's what we are looking at today. So, Wrecking Wave is an explosive action game with physics-based destruction focused on challenge and speedrun modes. Unleash a wave of chaos, smash cities, chase high scores, and stop a mad scientist from polluting your ocean with toxic waste. Sounds like fun, not gonna lie. I've played it, it's like a 2D platformer. You can jump, you can dash, you can grab, you can throw, and you can use your special attack, the Wrecking Wave. Physical controls are supported. Frame rate is mostly stable, but when you use the special attack, it can go down a bit. If you like what you see, might be worth checking it out. You can play it simply by installing the VPK. Shout out to the developer for going extra mile and porting the game to the Vita. It's greatly appreciated. Same as work of all the other developers, and same as support of all my Patreons and joiners. This is a great way to support me if you like these videos, but likes and comments are great too. Second new Vita port is Darius Burst SP by Rin. This is a horizontal shoot 'em up. There is also a Darius Burst PSP game, and this is Darius Burst's second prologue, Android port, with native graphics. There is a brand new remix campaign with different enemy placements, revised bosses, and some additional content from the arcade version like the new ship. There is also the Darius Burst Chronicles Saviors. That's an official Vita game. That one has supposedly the most content and is also really good shmup. Darius Burst SP plays with physical controls and frame rate is good. It's an Android port, so you need to follow setup instructions. I don't talk about them in here because it often gets me in trouble, you know, community guidelines. This is a news video after all, not a tutorial, but link for tutorial is of course down below. Now let's look at some new PSP Homebrew. It's called Wavezbg and you can make a custom cross-media bar waves. Looks quite pretty. All PSP models are supported. PSP Go too. You need to edit the TXT file for different color yourself. You can see instructions how to do it on the screen, and you can see there are also known issues. We got also some news from the developer of the native PSP StarFox 64 port. He shared several tweets, and in the last one he was able to get the training mode to work on a real hardware. It was running at half speed with no audio and some dodgy effects. This confirms the core 3D pipeline is alive and well, as is the N64 logic. Nice milestone, brother, keep it up. Now some 3DS homebrew news. Pokémon Save Manager has received an update with wider compatibility with non-Luma environments, plus bunch of other changes and fixes that you can see on the screen right now. If you are actively using this app, I'm sure it's worth updating. And next is an update for Universal Updater that is now on version 3.4. Proxy users rejoice! One of the oldest issues on the tracker that no one had the motivation to test properly, proxies, should now be fully supported. Universal Updater also now checks for what you have installed on your system and shows it with a little icon by the app icon. This lets you filter to easily find apps you already have installed, or if you got a lot of on your systems, you can now flip the filters and instead show only new apps. The search menu now includes all app names in the word completion dictionary. Universal Updater now waits for a Wi-Fi connection on startup. Previously it was possible to have the initial Unistore download fail if your 3DS was still trying to establish the connection. The Select Unistore menu now loads the Unistore list in a separate thread, making for a more responsive menu. A spinner is now shown when Universal Updater is doing something in the background, but user input is possible. Plus some other bug fixes that you can see on your screen with all the other detailed information. Link for the update is of course down below. Make sure to update it because it seems like a solid one with handy new features. Now let's check Switch homebrew news. Tico frontend is now on 0.7.3. What's new? Flycast has been updated to 2.6, bringing the latest upstream fixes and compatibility improvements. There has been added support for Atomic Wave and Naomi, which you can now launch directly through Tico, expanding the supported library beyond Dreamcast titles. Now there is a new compressor for existing covers. A one-time compression pass runs on your existing cover art to reduce storage usage and improve loading times going forward. There is a smoother navigation when holding up and down in game list. It now scrolls more fluidly, making it easier to browse through large collections. There is a better assets loading and download performance. This is reducing wait times when browsing your library. And newly downloaded covers are now compressed on the fly, keeping your storage footprint smaller without any extra steps. Plus some other bug fixes. There is also a note that even with the new Flycast improvements, Windows CE-based games like Sega Rally 2 and most Naomi 2 titles remain too demanding for Switch hardware and may not run well. To update Tico, you just launch the latest version 0.72. Then make sure you're connected to internet. You press start, go to settings, and here in the updates we can see update is available. We press A to update and it's gonna update it. Once the update was downloaded, now it says restart to apply, so I'm pressing A, close now. And as you can see, now we are up to date, 0.73. Tico is the best thing that happened to the Switch in a long while. Previously I showed you PS2 game running in Horizon OS, and now I'm showing you 3DS emulator called Azahar. It is a work in progress, it's not out yet, it's still being worked on. The developer just wants you to get hyped, and I was surely hyped when I was playing the Super Mario 3D World on my modded Switch OLED. It felt great. It was running mostly at full speed, as you can see. There were some occasional slowdowns, but overall the performance was really good. Especially considering I didn't use overclock, and Super Mario 3D World is like not the easiest game to emulate. Switch was really holding up surprisingly well. I foresee huge things to come in the near future to the Switch homebrew library. I surely can't wait for that. Great job by the developer done, big 2 thumbs up. I'm very pleased to see he's pushing the Switch limits to the absolute max. Then recently a lot of great Android Switch ports happened. Most importantly, Half-Life 2, GTA Chinatown Wars, LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, Driver 2, Professor Layton Curious Village, Pandora's Box. I was able to get the Chinatown Wars to run. This is running in native Switch resolution. You can enable touch, you can show FPS. It was running at full speed, as you can see on the gameplay footage. I was having a good time playing it. Majority of these ports were done by Naga, shout out to him. I'm a big fan of his work. He was also able to port Half-Life 2. My friend has it working. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to work, not sure why. I was facing some errors, but I will find out why and I will play it on my Switch. I won't be missing this unique opportunity. If you wanna play it too, you can find the setup instructions on the official GitHub release page. You need the APK from the source engine and Half-Life 2 game files. All of these Android Switch ports/wrappers are working in a similar way like Vita Android ports, exactly like the Nova 3 Vita port that another developer is working on. He shared 2 videos on his YouTube channel and the footage looks really encouraging. Frame rate was hovering mostly around 23 FPS, which is acceptable in my opinion. I do really like Nova series. There is the Nova 1 PSP version that I played a lot. Then I played also a lot of Nova 2 on my Xperia Play. And I'm sincerely hoping I'm gonna be playing Nova 3 on my Vita very soon. Looks like the developer is not that far away from the official release. Last but not least, we got a guy on a Discord sharing Asphalt 8 Airborne Vita port work in progress. He says he's almost halfway there. Bounty for Asphalt 8 is the largest one as of right now. Fun fact, it was fully done by one single person, if I remember correctly. I'm sure he is the biggest fan of Asphalt 8 out there, and I'm sure he will be very pleased to know the work has begun. That's about it for this week. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment, join, subscribe, become a Patreon. Thanks to you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.